Hello, everyone. We're going to go over the expression an armpit. I'm not referring to under my arm. I'm referring to the slang expression armpit, which is just a disgusting, dirty, nasty, unpleasant place to be at. It can be a nasty, dirty motel or a disgusting apartment that you may live in, or just like a complete rat hole. It's a very dirty place. Um, so let's go ahead and start making some sentences here. Now, I think most armpits tend to be motels and hotels, if they're just very poorly kept. So if I'm at a hotel right now, if I'm standing in a hotel, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to say this hotel's an armpit. This hotel's an armpit. It's disgusting. It's nasty. Um, Now, if I want to add emphasis, I can say this hotel's an absolute armpit. Just completely. It's complete. It's a complete, dirty, nasty, disgusting armpit. So this hotel's an absolute armpit, or I can say such an armpit. This hotel's such an armpit. It's gonna kind of carry the same meaning as absolute. It just means it's completely an armpit. Now, of course, if we use that at the beginning of the sentence, that means we could be talking about the hotel that we stayed in the past, because now that we're away from it, we could say that hotel's such an armpit. We may be telling a friend who may be wanting to go stay at this hotel. No, no, that hotel's an absolute armpit. So, an armpit can apply to an apartment as well. If my apartment is kind of a dirty, unpleasant place, I can say, yeah, this apartment's an armpit. If it's an apartment I lived in the past and I'm talking about it, that apartment's an armpit. That apartment's an armpit. Um, so yeah, let's keep going. So we can also start our sentence with a possessive like my. So if I'm describing my apartment as being being a very unpleasant, dirty place, I'd say my apartment's an absolute armpit. If I think your apartment is kind of unpleasant, I would say your apartment's an absolute armpit. So those are a couple of ways in which you can start your sentences with a possessive and use armpit. Um, Now, if I'm currently living, if I'm living in a place that's just very unpleasant, I can say I live in an absolute armpit. I live in such an armpit. If I'm talking about a girl or a guy that I know, I can say she lives in an absolute armpit. He lives in an absolute armpit. So we can also, if it's, we're going to do some present progressive here. So I can say I'm living in this armpit. I'm living in this armpit. That means right now. I'm living in this armpit right now. I'm near it. I could be inside it. I'm living in this armpit. If I'm away from the place that I stay at, I can say I'm living in that armpit. I'm living in that armpit. Um, Now you can also say I'm not living in. I'm not living in that armpit. I'm not living in this armpit. So you may say this expression if you are inside of a place and you're looking around and you do not like it, and you can say, I'm not living in this armpit. No, no, I'm not living in this armpit. And if you're just kind of looking at the place from the outside, you can say, I am not living in that armpit. So you're just kind of giving the opinion of the place that it's very dirty and unpleasant. You do not like it. So those are a few different variations in which you can use armpit, which is a very disgusting, it's an unpleasant place. It's just not a happy place to live in. So thank you very much for following along.